I grew up in a Polish, northern New Jersey, Polish commune. We had family, with us the whole time. And we were devout. Rosary every morning for the conversion of Russia, praying to Faustina and, Max Kolbe. But when my parents sent us to school, the relativism and I became more interested in being liked by my peers. And I turned my back on my family and my faith. And so when you find yourself really good at medicine, and then you have a knack for PMS and endometriosis and hormonal issues and surgery and births and medical issues, with high-risk moms, in order to be an excellent gynecologist in this day and age, I'm 62. So this was 1983 to 87 was medical school. 87 to 91 was residency. And to be the best OBGYN you could be, you had to provide abortion. It's essential health care. You had to build IUDs. You had to put them in right after the birth of a baby. You had to put class 1 carcinogens into women's bodies to help them liberate themselves from the chains of their fertility. You built embryos. I attended Eastern Virginia School of Medicine. That was the home of the Jones Institute, the first in vitro baby in this country. Are they loved or are they owned? Are they your children or are they your property? That's what I was struggling with, but it didn't matter. I was a people pleaser. And I moved away from God, I moved away from from my family and from my faith. And it's all on me. A friend of mine took me to Mexico City. I heard, "Why are you hurting me?" at the Basilica. Anyway, who knows? I was like, that's the beer, that's the cerveza, and I walked away. If today you hear his heart, harden not your hearts. So I was beginning to do all of this. And the early ones, they're very small, there's no bones. But as you did them in the second and third trimesters, there's bones. And you have to count body parts.
Tell me about how it all changed for you.
So driving to the beach one day down in Virginia Beach, I see a pregnancy center. Pregnancy Resource Center. I walk in, they're holding hands. "Dear Jesus, please come down, Lord. And anybody who walks in here, help us just work them. Help us just lead them to you and show them that there's an option more than just abortion. Don't let them hurt their life inside the fruit of their wombs. Father God," evangelicals. I'm like, man, this is great. And then I'd go back to my practice. Back to the first, remember, I did abortions the first 2 years of my residency. During the day and on my nights on call, I did everything. Deliveries, surgeries, some abortions. Aborting sick babies, aborting women who are fearful because of possibly being sick. It was just part of the training. So here I am with cognitive dissonance, and in one room, I'm aborting a baby at 23 weeks. That's halfway through the pregnancy. In the very next room, separated by a wall, as big as in this room, I was saving the life of the baby because the mother wanted it. Mother wanted it, I was saving. Mother didn't want it, I was ending. And this child that I delivered alive, I couldn't kill it, so it was born alive after an abortion. I had to weigh it or suffocate it. But it felt heavy to me, so I weighed it. It was over 500 grams, which is a little over a pound. I had to call the neonatal intensive care unit. And lo and behold, in walks a faith-filled Catholic professor, neonatal intensive care specialist, Dr. Debbie Plum. She quickly assessed the situation and said, "Bruchalski, stop treating my patients as tumors. Let's have coffee tomorrow morning." She witnessed to me. And then in this, she says, "Man, John, you're really good at this, but your patients and your second patient, your 2 patients, deserve better." That was kind of part of the title of my book that I just wrote with Ignatius, 2 Patients, my conversion from abortion to life-affirming medicine. It was she witnessed to me, and then she says, "Oh, by the way, have you heard about this place in Yugoslavia where the Mother of God's appearing? I just went, it's really special, you should go." "No, I don't really believe in that anymore. We did it when we were kids. I'm not a big deal." No. 2 days later, my mother says, "Hey, what are you doing for winter break?" She wants to take me to Yugoslavia with her. I said, sure, I'll go to Dubrovnik. I'm a history guy. On a hill in the middle of the winter, the Lord and our mother came to me in prayer. I fell down. I was a man of unclean lips. I had scales on my eyes. My whole body was filled with scales, like a leper. They helped me up in prayer, and she gently put my hand, my right hand, I'm right hand dominant, the one I used to do abortions with, into his side. So, I was loved for the first time in my life. Beloved. Went right through me. Father, don't say the words, but I'm not worthy that you come under my roof. But only say the words and my soul shall be healed. In that moment, because of the data coming in, abortion and breast cancer, abortion and preterm labor, abortion and mental illness, the good Lord absolutely brought me home. At that moment, I was a new creation. I saw the reality and the beauty of the Catholic Church, the teachings as merciful. So now, medicine's an act of mercy, and that's what we do at Divine Mercy Care and at Tepeyac OB/GYN. Our tagline at Divine Mercy Care is transforming hearts through healthcare, bringing people to the big questions where the Lord can penetrate their heart and do the hard work. And at an OB/GYN, it's something more than medicine. It's not just about the body as an engine. No. Doesn't happen in gynecology, I'll tell you that much. And I think we as men should, learn from our complementary halves, the women out there.
So professionally, you went through a metamorphosis.
Absolutely.
Spiritually, you went through a similar metamorphosis. How has all of that experience changed your faith to this day?
We're put on this earth as looking through a glass darkly, as some great poet once said. We have to see and believe in the deeper meanings of the cosmos. When you see the lights of the stars, and to think that we were made in the image and likeness of God, us, you and I, Dennis. His mercy, if I could have gone from where I was after all that my family gave me, losing it all, throwing it away, they still loved me. Mom still prayed for me. She interceded for me with her rosary every day, even though I told her, yeah, I do abortions now, Mom. No. And so the sacraments, through the signs of this earth, water, bread, wine, it's real. It's real. And that's the beauty of the church, because the church is the last bastion of faith and reason together. In a world where most of us go, it's not that big of a deal. No, we should just give in. I think the church is probably the last line of offense, because the Lord knows we were made for this time. You here in Nebraska with this wonderful Lincoln diocese, we were made for this time. And the sacraments are real. And yes, they might come for us eventually, because remember, misinformation, disinformation, there's only one party line in OB/GYN. Wrong answer. No. I believe through conversation, trying to find our common humanity, I think we can talk to people on our side and on their side. Even in the face of what we're seeing right now is polarized, pitting one against another. Great medicine today, we never pit mom against baby. You don't need abortion to save the life of the mother. You always hate the disease, but you love the patient. You don't get rid of diseases by getting rid of patients with those diseases. But now it's, be careful, you're going to get punished for ectopics, you're going to get punished for miscarriages. Are you kidding me? Great doctors, men and women, have been doing great medicine before Roe, during Roe, now with Dobbs, and long after Dobbs. Why? Because the Lord is the divine physician. He's teach and heal. Well, I can't heal. I can't even cure most of the time, but I can care. And so by using a not-for-profit model at Tepeyac OBGYN, we use almsgiving in our community. No, we can turn communities into communions. We can make abortion unwantable or unthinkable. Why? Because we love them. Hate the disease, love the patient. That got applause at Harvard. That got applause at the University of Washington. And once again, it's a witness. Dennis, stand up. For any of you out there who think are going into medicine and you think you're being called, please, if the Lord has put that on your heart, you got to be obedient to it. Contact us at Divine Mercy Care. Contact folks at the Catholic Medical Association. Contact people at Christian Medical and Dental. Contact folks at the American Association of Pro-Life OBGYNs. You're being called to join us in this vineyard. And you're part of the vine. And yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Let's talk about the moms a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you've been with them, looking into their eyes at probably one of the most difficult points of their life.
Yes.
What do you tell them at that point? And what do you share with them at that point?
So it depends on where, so medicine is always about taking good history and physical. Before you examine them, you have to listen to them. And you know, women go to doctors all the time and, oh, he didn't listen to me. That's why there's no trust in medicine today. It's also because at the heart of OBGYN, there's abortion there. The destruction of your child in your womb is considered a good. Of course you don't trust them. It's too easy to, fungible words, you know, now we're hearing about, oh, the heart doesn't fully form until 20 weeks. So you should call it a heartbeat halfway through the pregnancy. You tell any mom after several miscarriages, after they hear a heartbeat at 6 weeks. It's absurd. And so there's this, this opportunity right now to participate and listen to them. No, it's not in your head. No, ma'am, I am so sorry you had to go through this. When we find a sickness in the baby, we have a whole perinatal hospice program. But you gotta meet them in their pain, because that's where they are. It's okay, hon, don't worry about it. Just pray more, go to more sacrifice. No! And then acknowledge their pain. Acknowledge how brutally they're suffering. And then say, I will accompany you. I'm not gonna, no. We will help you through this. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be real hard to say goodbye. But if you wanna maximize the time with your child, think about keeping it inside of you for a while. The world is saying, no, do an abortion this afternoon. It's worthless. It's going to have, as Flannery O'Connor once said, mercy leads to the gas chamber. She was thinking of Nazi Germany. Today, mercy, unmoored from truth, justice, love, faith, mercy leads to the abortion clinic. Because it's mercy killing. It's eugenic. We're there, right? Canada, doing it right now. That's what we have an opportunity. When we talk about medicine as mercy, that health is based on relationships. It's about sacrifice. It's about walking with someone in their shoes, compassion, to suffer with. That's why we've gone not-for-profit. I don't want to take, but we do see insured people. We see uninsured people. 30 to 40% of our practice is underinsured. But what you do to the least in Matthew 25, you've done unto me. And it's not earning. I'm not earning salvation. But when you're filled with his love, and I know it firsthand, oh my God, share it with others. So anybody out there who just wants to talk, man, don't hesitate to get a hold of us at Divine Mercy Care. Because that's our new focus at Divine Mercy Care. It's about raising alms for our practice, Tepeyac OBGYN, but it's also about educating and exhorting and inspiring students and residents and burned out docs. Because technology is not what we need to be afraid of. It's the folly of mankind. It's the folly of us. And once again, I think because of my experience of living it for 30 years, it's interesting. There's a real opportunity to share this with others.
Dr. Bruchalski, I want to ask you about health professionals too. Sometimes they've got their livelihood in front of them, and yet they conscientiously object, based on faith or otherwise, to what they're being asked to do. What's your message to them?
Narrow down, give me a little clearer image. So you're saying that a person of faith
Right,
is in their job
right.
and they're being asked to do something.
To help with an abortion
Yes.
surgery.
So we have found that you talk about it, once you get into the program, you talk about it with your rotation director ahead of time. And you be very clear with them that you're a practicing Catholic and that you believe science and faith go together. And I am here to learn as much as I can, but I can't do certain things. But I can take extra call. I need to study about it. I need to know the data. Because remember, my first 2 years, I was a backslider, buddy. I was doing everything. I was harvesting, helping them suck out eggs in their IVF egg retrievals. And these were all good people. Trust me, these abortion doctors and these IVF, they're not evil. They think they're helping. They think they're answering, and that's why I don't throw stones. They're not evil. But once again, and so we can help medical students and residents get through their residencies and get through it well. It might be painful and it might be challenging, and there's all different stories out there. But no, if the Lord called you into this, He will provide. And whether it's in another profession or whether it's in the profession you chose, like OBGYN, so be it.
So right now we're in post-Roe America, but it seems it's even more divisive now than it was when we had Roe.
Yes.
And we hear politicians talking about putting Roe into law, codifying it.
Yes.
I know you don't have a crystal ball, but where do you think as a country we're headed when it comes to this issue?
So, we're now in Dobbs, post-Roe. And what everybody's talking about now is medicalized abortion. I kind of euphemistically use the words S&A, starvation of the fetus, abandonment of the woman. Why do I say that? Well, mifepristone is the RU46 that starves and blocks the receptor for progesterone. And then the cytotec that we use is what pushes out the fetus, the pregnancy, the placenta. Where? Probably in your bedroom, in your bed, or on the hallway between your bedroom and your bathroom, maybe on your floor of your bathroom, maybe in your toilet. Can you imagine? It's now going to be sent over the internet, over the mail. You can buy it, wherever. You don't even have to go into the doctors, because why is that? Why are there fewer and fewer abortionists? I know why. Because it's brutal. Oh yes, I believe in choice, but I can't do it. It's hopeful, sadly, through advancement through opposition. It's like the book of Acts. We may be questioned about misinformation and about our licenses. However, when you have a groundswell of young people aborting their children in their homes, I don't think we've even seen post-traumatic stress. One of the most amazing groups that helped me was Silent No More, the women who told about their abortions. One side saying, shout it from the rooftops. A radio program just vocalized, the sound of an abortion. My God, it's become commonplace. Well, of course it has. Because when you pull human flourishing away from where real flourishing exists for us, you're done. So I'm very hopeful because, the Lord promised He would never leave us. And I think he's raising up young people and older people, men and women across this country, across the world. Because right now we can talk about abortion, the word abortion, and we can begin to speak, even in a world where words no longer matter. No, we're going to witness it from where I work, how I talk to people, trying to build find common ground with those on the other side. And once again, it's become brutal. I mean, it's now, they're codifying Roe in California, in Michigan, in New York. It's like whacking a hydra. Whack-a-mole, right? Now we have to do it at every state. They didn't make abortion illegal. They just made it not allowable at the federal level because it was bad law. Even though I want to believe that some laws can change hearts, and I believe they can, many children are saved, I think it's more a matter of heart to heart, core ad core, as DeSales would say. It's about looking people in the eye and saying, I will walk with you through this. Do you know about fertility awareness-based methods? You're tired of the injectables, aren't you? Yeah, John, they put on 15 pounds, I've got headaches. There's a better way, and we can show you. And that's what we are called to be as Catholic Christians, right? We are called to be witnesses.
Your book is Two Patients, My Conversion from Abortion to Life-Affirming Medicine. What do you hope it accomplishes?
Oh, I think it provides hope. Number one is, we just finished celebrating the feast of St. Paul. He went from stoning Stephen to being sent back to Rome to be punished. I bet, rather than, what am I going to do? You know what? If the Lord got me through from there to here, he's absolutely going to get me from here to there. And that's what I'm hoping that this book can do. This is my conversion. This is my heart. It's inspiring mothers and fathers not to give up on their kids, like my parents did. It's that you can see the hand of God and his mercy endures forever. And so I think it's a very hopeful book. I think it's a book that can create a lot of conversation, and good and bad, I'm sure. But no, it was time. Even though I didn't want to do it at first, it was hard. It was like a tough birth for this OB-GYN. But no, Elise Daniel and Amber Jones and some others, the folks at Divine Mercy Care, whether Kathy Doherty or Cheney Mullins, they just kept encouraging. Johnny, you have a story to tell. So no, it's hopeful, but it's going to be a challenge, just like the book of Acts was.